What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video, we are on the test server here, and we will be playtesting Hilva the Rime called with Tormin the Cold, her partner in crime, both from the Dwarves faction here. So Hilva, one of the newer champions released in the game in December 2025, and she does have a partner bonus here with Tormin, who's a very, very old champion. He's been nerfed a couple times along the way, was very influential in the arena meta back in the day. This is pre-Stone Skin. But yes, Tormund's still here. He's still a really, really good champion. Offered up in a couple of guaranteed ways, actually. I believe he was a fusion. And then he was offered up as a winner-take-all champion chase winner prize. And then he was also a Titan event champion prize at the end of it, I believe 2023. So what's the deal with Tormin? Tormin has great base stats. He's the defense-based champion. He does actually hit relatively hard, or he can be geared to do so. He's got an A1 here, AoE with the chance to freeze, goes up to 25%. He'll also use this ability whenever an HP burn ticks on a frozen champion, so that's kind of interesting. Just kind of keeps them locked down constantly. He's got an A2 here, single target hit. It also removes buffs from the target enemy and then attacks twice. It steals all the buffs, which is really nice if they're under freeze, and will ignore defense if the target is under both freeze and burn debuffs. Now this can be really, really strong, especially paired with Hilva or Hilvi, because she has the ability to land freeze and HP burns in one ability. And then Tormin with the A3 here attacks all enemies, brings block buffs on an AoE attack, and heal reduction as well if they're under freeze. Also plays a provoke on them if they're not under freeze, and you get a skill cooldown reduction if they're both under freeze and HP burn if you're attacking enemies. 4-turn cooldown on this AoE attack. It's pretty good just for CC, and AoE block buffs is obviously very good. His passive here is a passive effect, has a 20% chance, books up to 30% chance of placing freeze on the enemy each time they receive a buff or has their turn meter filled. So it's really strong against obviously like speed meta champions that have turn meter boost or give buffs that's not block debuffs. The 30% chance when fully booked applies up to twice per enemy turn. So once for the buffs and once for the turn meter. Does not work with effects from artifact sets, masteries, healings, buffs, or effects that take place at the start of the round. Now the active effect here on a 6-turn cooldown is a revive on him back up to 100%, but he is under freeze, or he is frozen when he comes back. So pretty interesting, very powerful overall kit. He does bring defense in all battles as well. Really, really strong like crowd control champion. You can put him in a stun set and then he's doing all sorts of crazy stuff. He's got freezes, provokes, stuns, a bunch of AoEs, and he's hard to kill. And he has a passive that freezes you if you got turn meter boost. So he can do quite a bit. He was nerfed a couple times, like I said. But when you pair him up with Hilvi, the Rime called here, it could get kind of nasty because she does place AoE freeze. And she does have a passive that places HP burn on champions that get frozen. So not just from her, but also from any kind of freeze that your team places. Her A1 also basically has an ally attack with Tormund. So Tormund's going to use the A1 ability whenever she uses her A1. I mean, it's a chance, but it's a 50% chance of that happening. And then whenever she uses this ability, he's going to use the Blizzard Rage ability, which is going to be his A3. So whenever she freezes somebody, the HP burns will apply, and then Tormund will use this ability, which is a crazy big nuke. And he'll be able to decrease the cooldown of one random skill of each ally for one turn, because the enemies will have freezes and HP burns on them. So it can get kind of wild. Let's see them both in action. I'll show you guys what kind of builds I got them in. Let's check them out in just general dungeon content here, just wave-based content. Let's see how well they can do together. Just for some fun. It's more like a fun build just to see what they can do. Let's test out Hilvi's A2 here. This is the freeze effect. See, HP burns lands, and then Tormund will activate the his A3 just by her using her A2, which is really strong. And then this ability here, his A2, he's going to full ignore defense if the target's under both freeze and HP burn. Now this can get kind of wild. Let's see how much damage she can do here with the A2. Double hit, 200k. I mean, that's reasonably strong. They are under no decreased defense or weekend, which is kind of interesting because I think Tormund got a turn meter boost because of Hilvi's passive. You see Hilvi's passive here. If Tormin the Cold is on the same team, fills his turn meter by equal amount of enemy turn meter decreased by the skill. So it looks like Hilvi probably decreased 50% turn meter from every single enemy and then gave that turn meter to Tormin, which is pretty crazy. So he cheated ahead of Lydia there, so that's why Lydia didn't place decreased defense and weaken, which again is very, very nuts. We'll go back to Tormin here. Let's see how well he can do with decreased defense and weaken now. The big attack. And yeah, not too bad. The problem here with Tormin is that as a damage dealer, you're going to deal less damage against frozen enemies. So you're never actually hitting at your full potential when the enemy is frozen. Unless you're somebody like Gurgo that has a passive that ignores that effect. But basically anybody that's frozen, they're just going to take less and less damage. So not a crazy damage test there from Tormin. Let's see what else we can do here. Let's hop into the arena and set up a team and then see what we can do. All right, let's jump into this with this team here. We're playing a, what is it? We got a speed boost team pretty much. Let's see what we can do. We got plus defense here from Freya. And let's see. Unfortunately, we have to boost ourselves up. Let's boost, and then we'll boost into our lockout. Lockout is Warlord. And then let's drop the freeze on them. That'll be kind of nice. Let's drop the freeze on them. Frozen, HP burn, and then big slam here with the A2, with the A2 nuke. And then he comes back in with the A2 nuke again. 32, 43, and then you see that his A1 ticked off again for the attack. Like I said, whenever he has an HP burn tick, when they take damage while they're frozen, he's going to go off with his A1. So he's not hitting particularly hard on a single hit, but the multiple hits is very nice. And then obviously Hilvi with the A2 triggering Tormund's AoE attack is actually very strong as well. So let's see this again. We'll play them against the same team again. And keep in mind, he didn't have increased defense or anything like that. Yeah, so a big hit here. And then we come back in with another big hit. Yeah, very, very nice. Let's try increased defense this time and then see how well that goes. All right, so we're back in it against the same team here. Let's try increased defense here with Freya. And see how hard this Tormin can actually hit. Let's petrify you. All right, so we got the freeze coming in with the HP burns. So he drops the, whoa, he drops the A3 on them. That's a pretty big hit with the increased defense. And then he's going to drop the A3 again and then nuke them dead. So with plus defense, he actually does quite well. Yeah, I was actually kind of impressed at that damage. Let's try this one. Let's try this team here. If we can get plus defense up, that can be really nice. Otherwise, he's not going to hit that hard. But let's try here. Plus defense. Let's go for the icicles. So ice, and then he's going to play the A3. No? That's kind of strange. How come he didn't use the A3 attack there? And there he dropped it. That's kind of weird. How come Hilva didn't act? Oh, I guess it's because Hilva was frozen. Or Hilvi must have gotten frozen from a wand. But because she was frozen, does Tormund not attack with the A3? We'll try that again. Petrify you. Plus attack. Sorry, plus defense. And then we will freeze them with the HP burns. No, that's kind of weird. How come Tormund didn't attack that time? Because Hilvi is frozen this time. But he attacked this time. And then this should end it here. Yeah, and then the HP burn ticks off, and then he does his A1. That's pretty crazy, right? That's pretty crazy. I don't know. I think that's kind of nice. Nice little bit of synergy there. All right, let's hop in against this team. This pretty tanky team here with some resistance champions. Let's see what we can do. All right, so we locked them out. Not really. Some of them got locked out. Plus defense here, and then let's see if we can strip some of this stuff off. We don't strip anything off, but we do get the A3 to go off. Oof. Let's see if the A2 can do anything here. We do remove, and then we kill. That's kind of nice. And then we get wanded. So the freeze is going to be a little bit annoying with Tormund because we constantly get wanded here. Let's put the block damage up. There we go. Block damage is up. Nope. You deal no damage to me, sir. Okay, let's keep going here. A1. And AoE slam. folks. Let's see how the A1 does, because the A1 will do the decreased defense, and if Tormund's on the team, has a 50% chance of activating the A1. Let's try to hit her. Nope, didn't work. No A1 this time. Okay, plus defense again, big shield. We do the freeze here. Yes, we got some. Oh, that's a big hit. Plus defense, that's a pretty big hit. I mean, this is going to be pretty tough to deal with this. Nice. The HP burn ticked off, and then Tormund used the A1. Let's go for decreased defense. Okay, it's A2. He's not frozen. Let's try the A1, try to freeze him. Nope. I'm going to get hit. Petrify. There we go. That's nice. Plus defense again. A1 decreased defense. And then the A2. Big slam here from the A2. Wow, big hit. 262. I mean, the A2 can hit hard, right? Because it full ignores defense, which is pretty crazy. But not too bad. Actually performed not too bad there. Yeah, the problem with the test server is it's pretty limited on what you can play against. You can kind of see the teams I'm up against all have Marichkas on them, which is not the most friendly. It's not the most friendly team to play against, just because she has the block damage shields that come up when you put HP burns on her, so it's a little bit annoying. Let's see how well we do against this. It's not a great team to play against because of the Sifi's block debuffs, but we'll try our best here. Let's go with the plus defense. Lockout. And then the freeze. Oh, HP burn. Boom. Big hit here. Rotos comes in. Oh, the HP burn starts ticking. And then Tormund has a chance to use A1. This should be it. Yeah, we nuked them pretty dead. Let's see. Can we lock them out? And then that's it. Yeah. Not too bad. Not too bad. We got in there, took off the buffs, and then started nuking. Let's try this one. We should perform relatively well against Arbiter as well, if we didn't go first. So, like, for example, we could let him try to go. We could let him go first. Let's see what happened. Let's see. We'll let him go first. Okay, so freeze. A1s. This guy's hitting pretty hard. This guy's hitting pretty hard here. This is a pretty good fight. Pretty good fight here. I mean, we could win if it's just an A1. Oh, we got wanded here. Okay. Oh, that's good. Yeah, so honestly, like spamming so much of the debuffs is going to be really bad for Tormund as well, because you're just going to get constantly wanded, right? So that's going to be a little bit of an issue for Tormund to deal with. You bring a lot of CC, but then you're going to run into all those wands. A little bit of a pain. Frozen. Okay. It's a lot. It's a lot of CC. It's a lot of AoE. It's a lot of CC stuff, and it ticks off quite a bit. So you basically have kind of like two Tormunds, I guess, because Hilvi kind of is like a Tormund herself, because she can activate his A1, she can activate his A3. So pretty interesting stuff. Let's go up against Tormund and Hilvi in a defensive setting here. See how well they do together. This time I think we'll use the block debuffs just to protect ourselves from the stuff. Protection, Sifi, that's nice. Okay, we can't really do anything here with. Let's do the block damage. There we go. Let's see if we can do stuff. Nope, not quite. Also didn't have plus defense there, so Big freeze. Big slam. Frozen, and then HP burn right away. That's kind of nice. And then I guess we're just going to slam this guy dead. Whoa, 156k slam. That's a big one. That's a big one. And then boom, A1. Yeah, I mean, totally viable. Pretty fun combo, to be honest. And actually pretty strong. Both of them are pretty good on their own right. But this is just not really a great like meta for Tormin, just because Wand is so meta nowadays. But honestly, like, they're pretty strong. I'll show you guys the builds here on both my champions, the Tormin and Hilvi couple. So Tormin here built with basically my best defense-based nuking gear in Lethal and Stone Skin. 7k defense, 280 speed, 362 crit damage, 4-star, blessed with 300 accuracy. A little bit low on the accuracy, so I wasn't able to like strip champions consistently or freeze them all the time. But he actually did okay with 300 accuracy. A little bit more is obviously better. You can definitely do that by cutting some of the defense, perhaps. I do have an accuracy banner on him, for example. I am running Cat's Gaze, so he does have extra ignore defense. These are the gems. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, these are the gems here for him. Lightning Cage is to protect his Stone Skin from getting stripped off in the beginning. And these are the masteries I have on him. Helm Smasher down here on the T6. I'm moving my head. Counterattacks, a little bit of healing, extra damage here, but pretty general kind of nuking masteries here. But he's definitely built for damage, and especially with the Cat's Gaze, he's going to hit pretty hard. He doesn't have ignore defense in his kit only when he has this. Freeze and HP burn, it has to be applied to the target, which isn't necessarily that easy. But since Hilvi can apply it on one ability, I mean, her passive is actually really strong. So that's my Tormin. I mean, yeah, he's geared up to hit pretty hard, and I think he was doing pretty good. He was doing pretty good there, especially with the plus defense buff. So anybody that can give plus defense buff would be really, really nice. And then we have Hilvi here. I have her in a 9-piece protection. 9-piece protection does give, everybody a little bit of extra damage. She does place 2 buffs, so it's extra 10% damage. I mean, 10% is good, but it's not going to be like crazy good or anything like that. She's got 380 speed, 475 accuracy. She needs accuracy for the strip and freeze. And she needs speed because she is a booster. But she wasn't my main booster. You guys can kind of see, like, she's kind of like my second booster. So she's not my main booster or anything like that, but she can definitely be your main booster. Don't be afraid to gear her with your fastest stuff and then just have her go in with the boost right away. She does have 110 base speed, which is the same as Arbiter. So she can definitely play as an Arbiter, like especially in Siege, because her speed aura is all battles, which is better than Arbiter in Siege, of course. But in Arena, Arbiter has a better speed aura. We're using Wand of Submission on her. Yeah, I mean, just protect her a little bit from CCs and all that stuff and sending it back. Now, we did see her get frozen as well, so other people with Wand will send her freezes back to her, which is a bit of a pain, right? So anybody that lands all these debuffs is definitely going to get CC'd back once in a while. So similarly with Tormin, he was landing her freezes everywhere, and he was getting frozen all the time from all the wands that are in the game right now. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. It's really hard to, have great champions that don't get affected by, the most meta relic right now, which is the wand. General masteries here. We went for reviver masteries, so timely intervention, just to speed up the turn meter. Lasting gifts for some extra speed, speed up buff duration. Turn meter stuff on the defense tree, and that's about it. Anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this kind of quick little play test and showcase for Hilvi the Rime and Tormin the Cold. Both of them together seem very fun, very powerful, especially if you have decent gear on them. Both of them by themselves are actually very decent. Hilvi, I think, is a better generalist champion that you probably just use in more areas. But yeah, together they are very good. Together they're very good, very fun, very powerful. But unfortunately, the meta is just not there for Tormin right now. His passive doesn't work against Stone Skin. All his freeze abilities will hurt him against champions that are running Wand. And most champions are running Wand. So it's just not the best meta for him right now. But you could also gear him, I guess, maybe with low accuracy and then just gear him to do lots of damage. Maybe that works out as well. But fair play to Plarium for basically giving a indirect buff to Tormin the Cold here by adding a brand new champion that's good on her own. And then, yeah, I think that's a good thing. It's just elevating the value of an old champion by introducing a good new champion. So good on Plarium for that. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it showed you guys a little bit of their intended gameplay, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about all of this. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching till the end, and I'll see you guys in the next video.